So, first up on the agenda is a short item cleanup. Come on, Shannon, move. Hate carpet. So, specifically, I want to go back to a couple of places. Well, I don't know. We'll check the map in a moment. But I want to start by checking that puzzle one more time. The one that I was trying so hard to solve last stream and could not. Since I found the Sonic Boom upgrade, I'm curious if there's any chance of that helping me with that puzzle. I don't think so, but I don't know. I know of at least 2 of those spots where those types of puzzles exist. I actually need to remember where the first one is. I think it's here. No, it was in a room that had a portal. This room? This room. Profane Path. That's where I gotta get to. Where am I now? I'm over here. Alright, let's go there and check that out. Day 3 of VR headset not being there. Finally was actually given the tracking number. Well, at least you got that. I can see why you'd be annoyed. Especially if they said it was going to be there Tuesday? Plot gets thicker. Holding it hostage for Christmas? I mean, that's kind of fair if you guys, like, actually celebrate Christmas. Like, do gifts or whatever. My family doesn't anymore, so that's why I say if. Although I suppose in that case, like, why tell you about it and get you excited for it now, and then make you wait 3 weeks? I tend to not be a fan of the whole concept of Christmas in general. I liked it when I was a kid, obviously, because I liked opening stuff, but we only do Christmas for the kids, so a couple my cousins who are young. Way to get robbed? Well, I mean, that's I don't want to say impossible, but that's a little bit extreme. But not wanting to go out on Black Friday because it sucks is definitely valid, regardless. Man. Oh, hey, that actually hit him while he was teleporting. Alright, let's... Won't let you pay it back. There's no sort of credit card? Okay. Whole situation sounds a little silly. What was over here? This didn't go to like a different area, did it? No, it just came out over here. Okay. Well. We're back here. I'll put on my headphones so I can hear what... Let me look up the sonic boom thing, make sure it is what I think it is. Annihilator charge combo. 30 light, 30 dark. Oh. Okay. One more time. Wait, do you have to... It was 3? That was also wrong. Or that was... I think that was 3. 1. Oh, that was 3. Second. The middle one was 2. Okay. Now... I'm still at this part. Oh, it's just... Just one again. Can reuse it. We did it. Beam ammo expansion acquired. Sometimes gets to be a Karen. Oh boy. That's funny. Alright, so I need to go back to... I don't need to, but I'm gonna go back to, Fortress. And go to that one room that also had one of those in it. One of these Sonic puzzles. Alright, what's the quickest way back to Sanctuary Fortress? I had tried a couple of those too. The hitting that Sonic door with different beam weapons. But apparently I just hadn't hit it with the Annihilator beam. I spent like half an hour last night trying to figure that damn thing out. I was so mad. Pew 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 beam. Well, it's not clear when you're in the Sonic visor. Like, the regular gun shoots out this, but under Annihilator, it shoots out like this other type of pulse, which works different than the other Sonic type of pulse. And it doesn't ever explain that or anything. And it doesn't tell you that. It doesn't call it anything different on the weapon select screen. It just works differently. Alright, that was not in the bog. It's up here. Is this the best way up here? I guess. Oh, not. Not that. I wonder if I should go up, right? I think it's up. No! I didn't want to follow it back down. this is right. Such an awkward mechanism for a lift. Don't know how morph ball technology works. I mean, I guess it's better than them trying to use space jump, right? Speaking of using space jump. No! Why did I not space jump? Screw attack, whatever you want to call it. Well... Go away. You dumb enemies. Have I actually, like, killed these before? What the? What do they even mean by simultaneous explosive blasts? Like... Hello? Want to stop just, like, owning me? What the F do I do against these guys, dude? Fine. You know what? Oh my god, just go away! Simultaneous explosive blasts. Wait, what did that say? The last page? Oh. The one enemy that actually needs that. Cool. Nope. Missile expansion. Hooray. That's just what I wanted from that. Actually, the last thing I wanted from that. Alright, let's peruse the map for a minute or two. Need to decide if there's anything else to do before the endo. Besides message Countess and figure out where he is. He posted something in my chat like an hour ago. Being like the finale. That's before I went live, obviously. So he's around somewhere. Where the keys was. Anything else in any of these rooms? Dark Samus was. That's where Gru Attack was. Went to all these places. Ammo, energy. Did I not go up there? In here it's a big elevator. But I never went there in this world. Alright. That was where I just was, but I'll go boot. Means that I'm not that far away to go back there. Let's check it out. What's the easiest way to get there? Oh, there's that blue door. Oh, that's where I came out for that dark key, isn't it? Yeah, I've been there. It's just the map is dumb. This is where the... Yeah. Alright. Disregard. I've been there. Alright, back to the map. I've been here, but no door there. Same with that. Okay, so I don't know of anywhere else in Sanctuary I want to go. Not saying there's nothing left here, but I don't know where else I'd want to go. Check the bog, unfortunately. What do we got? Any doors unopened? Any rooms jogging memory? I really don't want to go through all of the rooms just for the sake of going through every room in the game. So I'm mostly relying on a little bit of memory to think if there's anything else that I really want to look for. Came down here. Got mad at your dog and fell asleep. Well, I'm sorry that you got mad at your dog. Or I'm sorry that he did something to make you mad at him. Maybe the better way of saying that. I hope you had a good, hectic nap. Cried for 3 straight hours? Oh, poor pupper. Was he, like, in his cage, or was he just, like, out hanging out with you? Just crying? Huh. Well, hopefully he's calmed down now. I've only been live for half an hour or so. I got those 2 doors open, the Sonic ones that I knew about. The one I was stuck on last night and the one here in Sanctuary Fortress. So that's all you've missed so far, is me opening those. Apparently shooting them, so when you're in visor mode, this is the pew-pew thing, right? The regular beam. Apparently the Annihilator beam shoots out a slightly different pulse, which makes them go boop, 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 boop. And then when you shoot the little key things, they go boop, or boop, or boop. And then you have to, like, match them up in the sound order. Kinda silly. There's nothing at all to indicate that when you're in this mode, any of the beams work any differently. Now the dark beam is doing it. I swear I tried 1 or 2 of the beams yesterday. The dark beam looks similar though. Maybe I had tried that one. There was nothing really at all to indicate that though. Like it just calls them dark beam, and maybe in the lore book. Actually, let me check that. Let's see what the Sonic visor had said there. I don't remember if I looked at it or not before. Echo visor. Can reveal invisible items, areas, enemies. Use an interactive Sonic-based security system. Designed to work with a Sonic-based Luminoth weapon system. That's it. Turns out, fires blasts of shadow energy. Does not sound like a Sonic, Luminoth Sonic weapon. And none of the dark beam descriptions say anything about it. Light and dark energy. So this does say that. High-powered sonic aspect when fired. That's like... I still say that's silly. The game having used that one random aspect that it does a very poor job of telling you about, with like no indication for that one puzzle. I did read the weapon description, but like there was zero significance to that line when I picked it up. Well, I might not have read like the detailed description. I don't remember. But I read whatever like it popped up and told me. But, like, am I going to remember that days later? It's not like it was highlighted Sonic or anything like that. It wasn't like there was any significance or weight given to those descriptors. I don't know. I think that is very silly. I'm not gonna, like, harp on it too much. But... So now I'm just going through the map, finding out what other rooms look like they might have things that I... forgot about, seeing if anything jogs my memory. I'm not gonna, like, run through every room in the game looking for secrets or anything. I'm tired of running through this world map. So far, nothing has jogged my memory of wanting to check places. I do remember a couple of things that I did see. Like, I've got vague recollection of things that I did see that I was confused about. Or not confused about, but, like, I remember seeing things I couldn't get to in places the first time I was there. But I don't remember where those places were. But the result of that is I'm not going to go look for them. Most of what I remember is also, like, missile expansions. I'm a little annoyed that I'm missing, like, 3 energy tanks. Like, part of me is just like, where the hell could I be missing 3 energy tanks? I kind of wish, and it's asking a lot, and again, it kind of goes back to me wishing I could put notes on the map, but I kind of wish that it showed me on this map where I picked things up, because I'd really like to look at, if I knew where I picked up all the energy tanks, I'd have an idea of, like, oh, well, I found an energy tank here, and an energy tank over here, so let's look over here. You know, like, kind of triangulate them to some extent. I know that's not exactly how it works, but it at least might give me a little bit more to go on. But I have nothing right now, so... the result of that is... Was this another Sonic door? This might be. It's kind of near the landing site, right? Yeah, it is. Alright, let's head back towards the ship. Oops. But the result is that I don't remember what anything is and I'm not looking for it, is where I was going with the statement. Get the bad end. I mean, I did unlock the alternate ending from item completion percentages, right? So maybe the bad end is the alternate end. It's Well, spoiler alert. I'm not getting hundo. I've got a higher completion percentage than I did in Prime 1. And... also, like, a bazillion times more scan percentages than I did in Prime 1. Because I scanned basically nothing in Prime 1. So, I think I feel pretty good with, even if I finish the game right now, I feel pretty good with where I ended up. Here's a random one. Is anyone here excited for the Netflix Witcher TV show? I think it's Netflix. Netflix is one of those things that I randomly sign up for specifically to watch something, and then I get rid of it. So it's not like a having it or not having it thing. It's like, oh, there's something I want to watch. I will subscribe for a couple of... Yeah, that's what I was asking about, was the Witcher show. So I was asking if anyone here is excited for it. But yeah, it's one of those things that, like, when there is something that I want to watch, I will sign up, and then I will just cancel it when I am done. Whether it be Crunchyroll, whether it be Netflix, whether it be... Like, right now I'm subscribed to Disney Plus for the Mandalorian. But, like, when Mandalorian's done, I'm just gonna cancel it. Yeah, I'd say Netflix and Hulu are probably the two most common that, like, I've heard coworkers and stuff talk about. Yeah, I keep meaning to try out the Funimation one. But I don't really watch much of anything. So, like, oh, are they? Maybe. I don't really watch much of anything, so again, it's pretty rare that, like, unless there's something I want to watch, then yeah, exactly, I watch Twitch. Unless there's something I really want to watch, I'm not going to sub to something. I've occasionally done like Black Friday deals, so I remember a couple years ago I did like a 1-year sub to Crunchyroll because it was like half off. I subbed for a year or something. I'll occasionally do those if I know I'm going to watch something for a while. Is this the one that I wanted? No, not really, but that's good enough, I guess. Whatever. Wish things were marked better on the map. I wanted to use that central area as a shortcut back to the ship. I'm not actually going to the ship, I'm going to a room near there. Dancing because you're annoyed with things shipping. Dang. Whenever you say that, by the way, Rotoast, I hear it in Claptrap's voice. I'm dancing, I'm dancing. Every time. I don't know if that's what you're going for or not, but that's what I hear in my head. It is, okay. Perfect. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for the Witcher TV show. Witcher is one of those series of games that, like, I think the story's pretty cool. But I don't love the games. I like 2 a lot. I wasn't big on 3. And it's also one of those series that I keep meaning to read the books. I bought a couple of them. I think I bought the first actual book, and then I think I bought one that was like a collection of short stories or something like that that follow different characters. And they've been on my list to read, like, for years now, and I still haven't gotten around to it. But I'm excited for the show regardless. I'm also really excited for... Where am I going? This is where I want to go. I'm also really excited for the... Amazon Wheel of Time show. I don't know if it's going to be good, but I love Wheel of Time. Rare for the second, be anyone's favorite. I know. Witcher 2 is probably also like... I don't want to say it's like... Obviously, I don't think it's bad or anything, but the probably the one I've heard like the fewest good things about. But Witcher 1 had a really cool story. I really liked where they were going with it, but I hated playing it. It was awful to play. The gameplay just wasn't good. And then Witcher 3 was like everyone's favorite, and I don't know. Witcher 3 suffered from like the same reason that I tend to dislike open world games, where there were a lot of like tons of side quests that you'd end up out leveling, and you're kind of spend hours roaming around doing side quests that you're way too high level for. And the real problem was that like half of those side quests were junk. You'd get like a little money or something, right? But the other half of those side quests led to really cool storylines and characters that you wouldn't otherwise get to, or like unique recipes or items or whatever. So it was worth doing them, but you didn't know which ones were going to be cool and which ones were going to be a waste of time. And everything in that game was also like voice acted and just like really slow to do anything. Oh, I already went through there. Okay, well, I thought this was locked by the same Sonic nonsense, but apparently not. So yeah, Witcher 3's been on my list of games to like go back and finish at some point. At this point, I don't even know if I still have my save file. I might have lost it, because I got probably 2/3 or 3/4 through the game. Like, I made it pretty far. But I never did any of the DLC or anything either. Alright, so I should actually figure out where I'm going. Because where I'm going is down here. I guess I need to be in the dark world. So I guess I actually need to be where I just was. I just needed to keep going. So let's do that. Let's go back in here. But it's tough to like justify me going back to a game that I didn't love the first time. What's my current objective? Beat the video game. I have found all of the Sky Temple keys. So my current objective is go use the Sky Temple keys. I found all the keys last night, but it was late enough that I didn't want to commit to finishing the end game. Yeah, it's here. Sky Temple Gateway. This is where I'm going. Right here. My current objective is go there and turn in the keys. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Oh, do I actually have to get there through the light world? Oh no, I can go this way. I remember accidentally ending up there yesterday. from the half-pipe ramp thing. Yes, this is a blind playthrough. And thank you for the good luck. I will hopefully not need much of it. But, was there anything in here that I didn't get my first time here? I've been to this room a few times. Not at the moment, no. I will probably play 3 at some point, but at some point is probably going to be like a year from now. I've played a ton of Super Metroid. I've beaten that game a million times. I've played Fusion, I've played Zero Mission, I played Prime 1 last year. I've played AM2R. I've played the 3DS remake of 2. I've never beaten NES 1. I've never played the Game Boy Metroid 2 at all. And other than that, I don't know what else. I've never played Other M. So I normally speedrun stuff. I normally speedrun the Dragon Quest series, I'd say, is like the most common thing. Typically a lot of the Japanese versions. Although I do speedrun some other stuff occasionally. But I try to play like one casual game every month or so, maybe every 2 months. And I sort of switch between, I'm trying to switch between like RPGs and non-RPGs. So the next game I'm going to casual is going to be an RPG. I've got a couple ideas for it. Phantasy Star 1 or Phantasy Star 4 are on that list. But there's a couple of Final Fantasy games that I might want to play or replay, and I'm not 100% sure which one's going to be next. But I'd say speedrunning Dragon Quest stuff is the most common thing that I do. DQRTA. I do occasionally badly speedrun Super Metroid, but that's very off and on. Can now enter the Sky Temple. I am not good at Super Metroid, so that's mostly a excuse to play bad video games with friends. Not bad video games, but play video games badly. Sorry. Say that correctly. I love Super Metroid. It's one of my favorite games ever, so I don't want to call it bad. Bad speedrun. Good enough my friends won't even race me. Sure they will, just not Shadow Killer. Even Countess would race me in Super Metroid. I mean, okay, that's not true. But that's mostly because you've only beaten it once. I should put my headphones on. There was a while where we were doing regular bad races with some friends, and that was like a fun month. Depending on how long the end of this takes, I might do a Super Metroid run through after this is done. If I finish before like 11:30 or so, we'll say. Fun months are a fun year. Yeah, unfortunately, like, work kind of grounds me in terms of timeline. Like, it all comes back to projects that are ongoing at work or whatever else. Oh, okay. Interesting. No! Made it to the top and then immediately fell. Foils the wall jumps and probably the light suit design. That makes sense. This is the core of the final dark energy collector. The last collection of planetary energy lies within the core. When you place it within the energy transfer module for return to Aether, this world will become heavily unstable. So I'm interested. In Prime 1, you found all the relics, and then you fought Ridley. And then you went to, like, Turian, whatever Turian was called. So I'm interested if this is like the Ridley fight, and then there's like the final dungeon. It's kind of what I'm expecting. Impact Crater? Yeah, that. I'm going to call it Turian, though, because I called the last area of Metroid Turian. Thanks, Super Metroid. Not fully correct. Well, we'll see. If you mean I'm not fully correct about Prime 1, it's been a while since I played that. If you mean this game, I'll find out. This does look like it's going to have an escape sequence after this boss. And like Emperor Ing, like this all sounds like the final boss, the way it set this up, but I don't know. I'm not necessarily sold on that. Emperor Ing Head. Ruler of the Ing Horde. Target will form numerous tentacles to defend itself. Eliminate them to weaken its defenses. Metamorph has molded itself around the precious energy controller and will defend it to the death, using its own body as a shield and a weapon. Destroy the tentacles it generates to weaken the creature and its defenses. Bring body. Oops. Target is drawing energy from the unstable energy controller. Eliminating the target's connection to the energy may be an effective strategy. Eldest, strongest Ing in the Horde, Alpha, and the Omega, has absorbed enormous amounts of Phazon energy into its body, mutating itself in the process. Apparently this power is not enough for the creature, as it's now siphoning energy from the final energy controller. Can nothing be locked onto? Like... I don't even, like, understand what is happening right now. Oh, I can shoot the end of the tentacle. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I still don't want to die, though. Although, it's, not looking great so far. Oh, hey, that actually let me lock on for a second. Oh, hey, I got another one. What's that light crystal? Can I pick it up already? Emperor Ing Eye. Unstable Ing biomass, protected by a potent barrier shield, does not provide complete coverage. Its main eye, of which it can fire powerful energy beams, by a barrier shield, although not completely. The eye can be locked onto, but only direct shots will get past the shield. Only a direct hit will take out the main reactor. Well, that did almost nothing. So it will let me lock onto these guys like this. I tried this before, and it didn't look like it was locking on at all. So no, keep trying to turn off the light beam. Come on, dude. Ah. I was trying to charge up a super missile at it. Although whether I could even hit this thing with a super with how fast it moves. Only Star Wars. I love Star Wars. And with the new Star Wars movie coming out, it's still relevant. I'm gonna stand by that. Oh my god, stop interrupting shit. Ah! You know what? Let's just restart this. I'm gonna die anyway. Like, let's just... We got a better idea of how to do the fight. Let's just do it now. I'm gonna give up on using super missiles on that guy, because every time I try to fire super missiles, it like takes an hour for them to come out of your missile launcher, and then I just get hit. And then I'm just gonna end up hitting with shield anyway. So, it's fine. I mean, the dash mechanic has been, like, a little better since I've gotten, like, a little more used to it. It's just, like, the whole double tapping on the control stick thing, like... I can't even show it because you can't do it unless you're locked onto something. So, like... It's... Like, that's kind of a pain. You'll, like, unlock from something and it'll fail. Or, I don't know. Just in general, I don't love, like, double tap and jump. Like, make it one or the other, but... Like, double tap or single tap plus jump. But, like, I don't know. I just find it really awkward. It works fairly consistently if you do the inputs right. It's not like... It's not like it doesn't function. I just don't like it. I find it very, like, unintuitive from, I don't know, almost every other video game I've played with a dash in it. Alright. I've already read this, so... Oh, I gotta scan the eye, right? You probably remember that. Oh boy. Wait, why is that? Let's scan this before I forget. Well, that's new. Oops. Alright, what now? Oh, it was only at 60% scan, so I'm assuming that there's more to this fight. Egg. Emperor Ing Chrysalis. Regenerating Ing Ruler. Magnetically charged. 11 weak points have been detected. Target them with concussive blasts. Alright. Do I need to super missile them? This is certainly a fight. Oops, 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 oops. I don't know if these need to, like, explode more. Kabooma more. Alright. Now what? Chicken? Giant bantam? Alright, this is 100% an Emperor Ring, so this must be the last form. Mutated Emperor Ring. Altered Ruler of Ing Horde. A further phase-on mutation of the Emperor Ing has occurred. The creature seems to only take damage when its heart is light or dark. Find a way to change the heart to one of these colors. Oh boy. Energized heart is unstable. Beams of opposite polarity can damage the heart. Overloading the heart with energy may cause it to exceed critical mass. Oh boy. I don't... Alright. Let's do this. Hello? Why are you not charging? Oh, he mad. Oh, that disrupts my attack. Of course it does. Why did that... Man, hitting this guy with this dark shot sucks. It moves so slow, it's just everything's missing. I could try the Annihilator Beam instead. Like, does that do both? It does. Alright, cool. Well, my beam's interrupted though. Dude, get your legs out of the way. Well, that was effective. Super Missile, why did you miss there? Alright. Let's Sonic Boom this guy. Hey, back to the Annihilator Beam here, please. Alright, well, we're out of, there we go. We got Dark Beam now back. Cool. Nope. Emperor Ing defeated. That was kind of a cool fight. Now do we get an escape sequence? Where I have no idea where to go? Hopefully they give us like 5 hours to escape, because I'm going to need it. I really don't want to have to fight that guy again. I mean, if I do, I do, but... I have failed escape sequences in Metroid games before, so... it would not be unheard of. I think. Maybe it wasn't Metroid. I know there's at least one game where I failed an escape sequence, but... I feel like it was Fusion. Oh, you're not gonna start me off with a screw attack jump that I'm gonna fail for this whole 8 minutes? Maybe there's no timer. Maybe I'm just thinking of losing to that fight. I thought there was a timer to like get to the fight, or maybe in the fight? I don't know, I thought there was some timer at the end of it. But I could be misremembering. It's been a while since I played Fusion. At least 4 or 5 years. You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. No, not the gumdrop buttons. Oh no. Dark Samus 3. Target's phase and energy weaponry and defense systems are at full power. Invisible to your dark visor. Prevent phase-on energy in the form of destructive blasts and protective shields. Exposure to phase-on rendered invisible. These new abilities come out their already formidable arsenal. Place her at the highest threat level. Let's try, well, let's try not getting hit by this to start with. No? That hurt her a little bit. Ah. Man, imagine a timer on a fight that just, like, repeatedly goes invincible. Oh my god! Stop fucking just going invincible, dude. Dark Samus 4. All forms of attack except Phazon energy. Draw in expelled Phazon for use as a weapon. How do I do that? I guess double tapping the jump button also works for that dash. Well, that didn't collect them for some reason. So you can double tap the control stick or you can double tap the jump button. But you have to double tap something. I feel like I'm not going to beat this in time. I also feel like I'm just not dodging this well enough. Alright, another cycle of this. What? Are you effing kidding me? What is... God. I still go back to what I said about this boss fight on a timer with excessive invincibility phases is really irritating. Grab the phase-on! Why are you sometimes sucking it in and sometimes not? Thank you. What the fuck? Something just randomly did like a sliver of damage and destroyed all the phase-on that I had. It just disappeared from my charge shot. Well, G fucking G. I guess we're fighting that Ingai again, because this fight is really silly. I mean, I know how to fight it now, so it'll be better, but... That's really stupid. Like, the fight's cool, but doing it in that timer context is really, really, really dumb. Oh, I don't even have to redo the fight? Okay, that makes it slightly less dumb. That actually makes it way more tolerable. Disregard everything I was just complaining about, because if I don't have to redo that fight, then I don't care. If I had to redo the fight with the Emperor Ing, it would have been really, really stupid. But I'm okay with this. This is fine. Alright. Now to try this again. Can I skip this scene? Oh, hey, I can. I don't know which button actually skipped it, but... Alright, well, we're back to this phase. Okay. Stand over to here. All right. There's a lot of there seems to be a lot of RNG to this pattern too, which is also sort of irritating with the timer. And that, like, sometimes she's firing off a bunch of like the homing missile things, and other times she's firing off multiple sets of the phazon. All right. Dark Samus defeated. That was kind of a silly fight. Not a fan of that one. Not nearly as good as the Emperor Ring fight. In general, most of the Dark Samus fights I was kind of iffy on. I don't remember the first one too well. The first one might have been okay. Added her to your list. Like, I didn't think it was a bad fight or anything, just... I don't know. Just not as good as the Emperor Ring fight. Like, the Emperor Ring fight was super cool. Also, GG. Well, thank you. Let's get this ending lore here. again, all my stuff disappeared. I'm kind of sad that the Luminoth didn't end up really being the bad guys. I was really expecting they were trying to steal this energy to do something nefarious, like collecting it for the space pirates or something. I don't know, or like or I was gonna bring it back and like the space pirates were gonna swoop in and be like, "Aha, here's the energy." Pog champ. Those eyes are creepy as fuck. And like that face in general. Thanks, GameCube, yep. Is there a hundo ending? That's even different? I assume so. Maybe like a different pose or something? Post-credit scene? Nah. Alright, so before we go into the things to tell me or hit me up with, I wanna give my like stream of consciousness on the game first, without like bias, right? Without somebody telling me about things I didn't know about. So, in general, I thought the game was pretty fun. I'd probably rate it pretty average. So, there were sections that were like really fun in a row. Everything after I got the Echo Visor, at least. Maybe even some of the stuff after Power Bombs. I don't remember exactly. But there were a few sections that were like, things are moving, I can find a lot of stuff, I can go collect a lot of things. But the game just routinely just dropped all direction, and was like, alright, go find the thing. Go find the Dark Beam. That was a big one also. So they'd give you no direction, or they'd give you... There were one or two times, I swear the game just gave you misleading directions. So, the Dark Beam... The hologram said the Ing have the Dark Beam. Or they're developing the Dark Beam or something like that. And then the Space Pirates had it. I'm still salty about that. Because I looked for like hours, and I kept going back to the Dark World because the hologram's like, oh, the Ing are making this Dark Beam, or they have it, or I don't remember the exact wording, but the game gave you like no direction, and the little direction it did get pointed me in the completely wrong way. So I find a lot of that kind of frustrating, and navigating the map was a huge pain in the butt. I felt like every room I had to check my map to figure out where to go. It was really just like confusing, and like the world was interconnected in weird ways, and whatever. The boss fights were mostly pretty cool. I actually really liked most of them. There were a couple that felt kind of gimmicky, like the Boost Guardian, but I'll read what you're saying in a second, Countess. I'm gonna finish my stream of consciousness first here. But overall, I thought the boss fights were definitely sometimes frustrating, sometimes gimmicky, but like overall the highlight. There were a couple really bad ones, like the Power Bomb Guardian was just a really dumb fight. Not hard, just like it wasn't a good boss. I think the biggest thing that would have helped me like alleviate probably 90% of my complaints would just be like I said it before, but the ability to make markers on my map. If I could put even just like a color in a room or something like that to know like, hey, this room had a spider ball, or this room had a grapple, or this room had Denzium, or something like that. That would have gone like most of the way to alleviating my complaints with like the lack of direction in the game. A few things that they tried to do, like Screw Attack, just did not work well in 3D space. So, I don't know, that's what it is. The visors all felt relatively gimmicky. I wasn't a really big fan of how they worked out. They were okay, like they weren't bad, but they felt like an afterthought in the design in a lot of ways to me. The structure of the game was very Prime 1-esque in some ways, and like, hey, you go to this area, and then you go to this area, and then you go to this area, then you go back to all of them and find all the relics. But I felt like, I don't know, it was compartmentalized oddly. Like there were, most of the time, when you went into an area, you could it felt like you could kind of just like stay within the area and everything you needed was in there somewhere. And then it would randomly just be like, oh, you've got to go back to like this random boss room to get power bombs or something, you know? Percentage complete 79, total time 2147, hyper mode difficulty active. The whole Dark World, Light World thing, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that mechanic as a whole. I felt it added a lot more tedium of like backtracking. Oh, let's backtrack to the portal and try this again. Let's backtrack to the portal and try this again. So, I mean, it worked okay, and I liked the concept, just maybe not the execution. It was okay, just not my favorite part of the game. The whole like taking damage in the Dark World thing was super annoying, and I don't know who thought that was like a good idea. But it didn't really impact the game much. In fact, I think it like kind of hindered some of the boss fights because there were just spots of light where you could regenerate health during a boss fight. So either you were taking damage or you were regenerating damage rather than just being like, here's the resources you have, go fight the boss. Like, there were too many outside influences on those resources just environmentally. Story-wise, it started off kind of cool with like the whole Phazon, or the Luminoth versus the Aang. Felt like they didn't really go anywhere with it once you got past the first couple areas. Like, once you got past the waste, it was kind of just more like, oh, there's some Aang, oh, there's some Luminoth, oh, they're sending their Luminoth to train, or whatever. Like, it started off kind of interesting, and then just, if I had been playing off-stream, I would have stopped scanning in the bog, and just never scanned anything again except bosses. Or, like, maybe enemies. So, I'm kind of, like, iffy on some of that. The Space Pirates also just felt, like, really shoehorned in. Like, oh, we need to have Space Pirates, so they're there mining some Phazon. Like, okay. Like, I don't know. It felt like it's a Metroid game, so it has to have Space Pirates, but the Metroids were only in that, like, one area. There was one Dark Metroid on the way to one of the relics. Otherwise than that, like, it's a Metroid game. Like, why are the Space Pirates and Metroids in these, like, 6 rooms, and that's it? I don't know. Not bad, just weird. Very up and down, very roller coaster kind of game. So I'd say, like, overall, I thought it was fairly average. But there were definitely high points and low points. Way more ups and downs, I'd say, than most games. A lot of my complaints about directions you had trouble commenting on. Usually one of your first reactions to the situations was the right answer. Remember a lot of stuff like that spider ball tracked power bombs. But you didn't go days without playing the game either. Yeah. So that was one thing, was like, somewhat ironically, is I think I would have had a better experience if I had been less obsessive with, like, scanning everything I could, which is how I would typically play, because I would have played it in a more condensed way, and I probably would have remembered a lot more of that, and I did remember a lot of that. It was just, like, the couple of things that I forgot were, like, the critical things. Don't know if my experience is typical or yours. Those are the fixed complaints, sounds good, but there weren't complaints yet. Yeah, that's completely fair. I know you also mentioned, like, constant hint pop-ups, and on the map there was an icon for hint, but I never got hints. Like, the game was never giving me hints. Hello, Spirit Cabby. Invented 25%. Is it possible that... Oh, you can turn it off. Okay. I assume you played with it off then? When you played? Look at the final phase. Screw attack for 25% when he's red. Interesting. First time through Prime 1 you had it on? Ah, okay. I definitely don't remember hints from Prime 1 either, so... Either it's off by default, or... Let me actually, let me go back to the menu, because it's possible I also, like, turned it off. Yeah, you can overwrite my save, I don't care. What else you got? What's on your list? What are other things that I should know? That things I did well, things I did poorly, things I wanted to know about, things I complained about, things that... Whatever. Do I know what Dark Samus is? No? No. It's Metroid Prime. It stole my Phazon suit. Interesting. It's not a creature of dark aether, so it's weak to dark energy, not light. That's fair. Options thing, yeah. Dark beam owns all light worlds, vice versa. Should use beams way more. Yeah, like, I know that I should have used beams way more. I just didn't really like managing the ammo with it, especially early on before I got a lot of upgrades. Like, I was using them way more at the end than I was earlier in the game, once I finally got beam expansions. But when you only have, like, 50... I don't know. I default into, like, ammo conservation mode, I guess. Yeah, I did not try on Dark Samus, obviously, though. I also didn't like the Dark Beam. The Dark Beam was, like, super slow moving. It was really hard to hit anything with it. The Light Beam I liked a lot because it was like a fucking laser. But... Iron Quadraxis with supers. Use Seekers. They seek. Yeah. That's definitely fair. The supers, it was mostly like, I was complaining about the fire speed. Like, it just took a long time when you pushed the button for them to come out. It was really hard to, like, time anything with them, in general. Thing here. Hint system off. So I might have come in here and turned it off. What does it default to? Yeah, it defaults to on. So I had definitely came in here and actively turned it off before playing then. Probably before I played Prime 1. I think I went through these options, though, before I started Prime 2 also, my first stream of it. Yeah, I started to, like, get the feel for the beam ammo later on in the game, too. But... I don't know. There were definitely times, even later on, when I had, like, 150 beam ammo, when I would run down into, like, below 50. Like, yeah, it definitely was less of an issue than I thought, but I don't know. I was still iffy on using it early on. I did use Annihilator Beams on the final phase of Emperor Ing. I didn't use it against the tentacles, but I used it on the final phase. All the times when he went into the light mode, where Dark would have had to hit him, I was using Annihilator, because it was Seeking, and I was able to actually hit him. I didn't try it. I thought I tried it against Dark Samus 3 and 4. I might have only tried the charge combo. I don't think I tried it when she was dashing around. So that's probably fair. At least in Dark Samus 4. Dark Samus 3 I was hitting with supers, so that wasn't really a problem. Seekers are intended for the tentacle phase, yeah. Yeah, they definitely seem like it. Never use supers once you got Seekers. Yeah. Again, like, clearly, I'm a Super Metroid player, right? So I kind of default into, like, using the things that I'm used to in Super Metroid. It's very much a flaw in my gameplay, is, like, I fall back on what I'm comfortable with, which doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing for the situation. Dark Samus isn't that bad, she just deflects missiles in every single fight, and I primarily attack with missiles. Yeah. In fairness, though, like, you can say it's because of Super Metroid, but it's a general thing of Metroid games, where, like, typically bosses are often games, only vulnerable to, like, missiles and charge beam. Like, it's not just Super Metroid that does that. You could look at Metroid Fusion as an example, or whatever. Like, that's a fairly standard Metroid thing. Figured out your gimmick at the end of Prime 1. Yeah, I don't really remember the end of that fight too well. I remember there being, like, different colors and switching between things to match them or something, but I don't really remember. Point being that, like, this game deviated from a lot of the standard Metroid formula, which honestly was probably a good thing. Like, there's no reason the game has to follow the same formula every single time, but I definitely fell back to what I expected. So, also, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to play some Super Metroid. Of course you're going to yell at me for interrupting communication when I pull the batteries out. Two big hinchies. Metroid Prime or the Hundo ending of Prime 1. A space pirate lore that says she appeared inside one of their ships and ate all their phazon. Oh, okay. Either I did not. Well, I definitely didn't get the Hundo of Prime 1, and I don't know if I noticed that lore or not, if I scanned that or not. I probably did, but didn't associate it. Alright, I need a couple minutes to set up. I did scan it? Okay. Oh yeah, I had 100% lore. Can you believe that, by the way? That I was scanning things and got lots of lore and stuff? Me. I very much regret it. It was cool until like I said, like partway through the bog.